All right, all right. It is 11:41, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station, connectcafe.com. It is time for Heart Talk. Heart Talk is the talk portion of our show. This is where we come to renew our minds and restore our hearts. And today is Make It Happen Monday, and we're talking about confidence. And the word of the day, I feel like, really ties into this topic so much. And I just want to talk a little bit about that today. The word of the day today is extemporaneous, and it means unrehearsed, done or said without advanced preparation or thought, impromptu. It also means prepared in advance but delivered without notes or text. And I want to talk to you because one thing I have found, and this is something that I have been this is something that has many times in my life been seen as a curse, definitely not a blessing. I don't know if a curse is, it's definitely not something that I have looked at as a strong point in my life, but it is people like in the moment, things that I have found is one of the things that I've really found is that for us to walk by faith is living. You're going to have to do things that haven't been rehearsed before. I had to go for it for the first time. It was not something I had done or said in advance. It wasn't something I had necessarily prepped for. I mean, I did prep for it. I put together this manuscript of this book that I was holding on to for like 4 or 5 years almost, but it wasn't something that I had done before. And I feel like many of us are not where we need to be and the things we need because we are too focused on trying to have what we had before. We're trying to be where we were before and be. I can't tell you how many times I hear people say things like, "Man, I'm going to get and I'm going to get back the way I used to say things like that." But I had to stop them and say, when you were where you used to be, did you want to be there? Honestly, if you can go back to that time in life, even if you were making more money then, or even if your relationship was in a better space at that time, was there something you were working on being better at or something you were working on improving? The answer is always yes. So why do you want to go back to that? Why not move forward? And in order to move forward, you have to understand that some of these things that you're going to have to do are going to be done extemporaneously. You're going to have to get out there and meet people and talk to people. You're going to have to do things on a whim. If you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you're going to have to describe your business and you didn't have time to just sit and write a speech. You can just be in a grocery store and somebody's like, "Well, what do you do?" You're going to have to be ready for that. But it wasn't necessarily that you rehearsed it. You do rehearse it in your spirit, but you have to play it out. I think many people cancel plans before it even happens because they can't see how it's going to work out on paper. This is where extemporaneous living comes in. You have to do it without the plan, the past the planning portion. You put the plan together, now it's time to act it out. You put these steps in place, now it's time to do what you need to do to make it happen or to see these things come to pass. And you can't always rehearse that. You can't plan that. If you're someone that is working towards breaking a generational curse, if there's something that always takes place in your family, it could be addiction, it could be a certain disease, it could be jealous or jealousy or envy in the way it just seeps through the family, whatever it is, it's going to require you to live extemporaneously for you to break that habit. You're going to have to do something you've never done. You're going to have to go places you've never gone. You're going to have to see people you've never seen and do things that you've never done. But the only way you're going to get the outcome is by breaking the norm, getting out of that normal rule. You don't have to do it just because that's what your mom did, that's what your dad did, that's what your grandmama did, that's what your big brother and big were. What Be the bad one, but be bad and love yourself real good. Sometimes we cling to tradition to God. Sometimes we're more loyal to tradition than we are to faith, and we miss out on so much in life because of that. You don't have to be a teenage mom, just a teenage mom, and her mom was a teenage mom. That's not carry on. Yes, all get that told to like that because people want to want to help us feel better. I get that. I was a teenage mom. So was my grandmother. My mother wasn't, but she had me young and she wasn't married. Very close to being a teenager. Very similar situation. But do I want that for my daughter because we made it through? No, I don't want that for her. I want better for her. Am I saying that teenage moms are bad? No, I'm not saying that. I'm one. I mean, most of the people, a lot of the people I'm around have been. I mean, I'm the most amazing women in the world, but I have yet to hear one of them say that they would suggest another girl do that. Not one. But so for some people, extemporaneous living is just, I'm not getting pregnant before I get married. And that's extemporaneous for them. See, a lot of times we like to think of, oh, that person just like to fly by night and they're just so out there. You know, we need people to be out there for all of the pessimistic people that are here. We need people who are willing to be optimistic. We need people who are willing to do something new and try new things and go new things and go to new places and experience new things in life. And you can't always rehearse that. If you get an opportunity to swim with dolphins or an opportunity to ride a horse and you've never done that, some people will call you crazy. That's just extemporaneous living. You're living extemporaneously. You're doing things that haven't been rehearsed. You're doing things that may not necessarily fit the norm, but guess what? Hey, that's what you're doing. And it's needed. Just remember that. It is so needed. You think about it. What do you think about extemporaneous living? I feel like it's all a part of our testimony. It all speaks to who we are, where we've been, and where we're going. And who better to help us talk about a testimony than Rudy Currents? Testimony. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown. We'll be back with the midday mix after this. Kai high five. All right, guys, make sure you comment, subscribe, like, and share. We'll be back after this.